Hello YouTube and welcome. As today we are going to do something that has never been done in Litwixie Games history. We are going to review a piece of tech software, but not any software. Windows 10. But first, to review this, we need to look at the core killer features. So, on the plus side with this, we've got one of the core features in this OS, or operating system that means, is now that there is Cortana, your personal assistant. Now, there is a bug that I easily fixed, with the internet's help, to be honest, with it. But, if I actually, while recording this, do this, hey Cortana, hey Cortana, sorry it didn't work, but basically it usually works. It might be that I've set mine to off. So if I go into the settings, I'll just check that my Hey Cortana is on. Yeah, it is off. That's why. Yeah, it's very well programmed and responds to pretty much anything. There's only a handful of words that she hasn't responded to me with. One of them being Bixie. She thinks it's Pixie. Other than that, I've had no problems. It's also very nice to be able to get your own computer to remind you what videos to record and other stuff like that, or other things that are in real life. Another one is the return of the start menu. Now, this is just awesome. This is just honestly awesome how they ditched the not so great start tablet style menu from Windows 8 and 8.1, which I'm going to be honest, excuse my slight bit of French here, but it was a pain in the ass. However, keeping some of the traits of it, some of the good traits of it, and mixing them with Windows 7's awesome start menu is just fantastic. To be able to look at it and get all the latest news without a load of hassle, because when like on 8 and 8.1, you actually used, you click that, it would pop up and you wouldn't be able to see a desktop, you'd have to click it, whereas this, you click it and it opens the start menu. And like on my start menu, I've got the date, my mail, Microsoft Edge, pictures, Cortana, which tells me some news, phone companion app, Twitter, I've got store, Candy Crush, which is debatable, the weather, my Xbox, Groove Music, Film and Play, Minecraft and Solitaire, Flipboard, Money, News, OneNote, Get Office, and something else. Shazam, what that is. And obviously my Xbox thing will update me as well. Another killer feature that I think's brilliant is the Xbox app. This is just another fantastic idea to add to Windows 10. If Microsoft was truly committed, which they are, because it's in the operating system, they would add this to make more people use it, which they have, and it's awesome. Now, please note, I haven't managed to try the party feature on this yet, but I have used a lot of the other features, like the messaging. I am due to try the streaming one as well. I just haven't had a chance for that one as well. But from what I've tried, it's brilliant with the other features and how you can just send a message to your friends while working. So like, or in my case, editing. So and like I can just send a message to like Kill Crazy on his Xbox, but it's a huge relief. I can just say, "Oh, hello, are you there?" And it is a huge release. Also with the updated achievements is again very good. Being able to also being able to look at what your friends are doing easier than 8 and 8.1, because 8 and 8.1 was an ass to do that. And I know I've put a little bit of French in there, but it's like, in the way to put it, in the way I would put it, it's like, royal asshole. That's literally how much of an ass it was. And I'm not joking to you guys. It was an absolute ass to actually do it with 8 and 8.1. Now, the final killer feature is the addition of Microsoft Edge. And again, this is a fantastic piece of software. Whoever in Microsoft had these ideas that I've said are the killer features, I take my hat off to you, because it's just brilliant. And like, it's a huge leap forward as well from the problemed Internet Explorer, with the addition of saving pages for offline viewing, which is a godsend for people like me or anyone like that, and even drawing on pages, which comes with a huge help to me, and probably a lot of YouTubers that upgraded, as like when the Left Behind collectibles, when I was on the last like section, pretty much just before the post production, as I usually call it. Basically, what I done was I went onto the IGN site on Microsoft Edge. Now, this isn't in the script as well, but I went onto the site on Microsoft Edge and IGN, and then went Left Behind collectibles, and I went, right, let's have a look. And I've looked at what one the videos that I had of each one before I edited them together, and said, right, I've got that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. And I went on Microsoft Edge and ticked them off one after another. And then I said, I got that one, that one, that one, tick them off. I'm like that. And if I would have missed one, I would have highlighted the one I missed. It's just such a good idea. As well, like you can draw them in the page to what is to be done and what are not done. On top of this, from what I've seen, it's much more secure than Explorer was. So Explorer was like, and I'm trying not to say what I was going to say because some people would probably take it offensively. Explorer was just a nightmare. And you'd hear all the time, when the Internet Explorer's been hacked, it was an absolute nightmare. And from what I've used Edge, and I'm bearing in mind I've used most Internet Explorers, I've used I think 8, I think it is, or whatever, 9, 10 and 11 Internet Explorer, and I absolutely hated it. And like in my school, I only used it because when you actually use Chrome in my school, it actually saves the pages, which pretty much it saves it on the actual page, so like you can get into other people's emails, which I never did, but I found that out the hard way with my email in school. And it's much more user friendly as well. Now on the user friendly side, Windows 10, it takes a huge step over its predecessors, which is Windows 8.1 and Windows 8. With the return of the start menu, and the eviction of the side search box, which is, if you don't know, 8 and 8.1, it was mainly like tablet, and basically on the side of your screen you'd have to swipe down and you'd get search, start and stuff like that. That was horrible, in my opinion, but on the desktop, and it has made it literally, as well as the eviction of the tablet like start menu, made Windows 10 one of the greatest user-friendly Windows operating systems of all time, and has truly let Microsoft show that they are the king of operating systems. And before I say the next bit as well, like, and just for the record here, this is coming from someone that's used XP, CE, I think it's 98. I've used Vista 7, 8, 8.1, and now 10. It's coming from. The only really ones is before, I think, 98 and CE, and 2000, really. And obviously the Windows Phone, which I have used slight amounts of the Windows Phone, and I personally think Windows Phone 8.1 is actually better than the computer 8.1, and I've used that on my laptop I had. Obviously on my PC I had 7. Anyway, so, and they've backed it up with the numbers as well. In 24 hours alone, 14 million devices around the world were Windows 10 devices. Within 72 hours, 68 million devices around the world were Windows 10 devices. If they keep that up, in a matter of, if we look at it, 24 hours, right? You've got 14, so let's add, so we add another 14, that's 28, right? So now we're going to add 40, so 54 million in a matter of about 3 days. If they keep that up, they're expecting to have it. That's nearly 10% of what they expect in 2018. They're based for 2018, that's 10% nearly of what they expect. If they keep this up, it will take roughly about 11 weeks and they will have that. That is a staggering number, and it's very impressive, really, and truly shows that Microsoft knows how to dominate the operating system market. I think personally, with 8 and 8.1, they went off the road of Windows, that innovated pretty much. Because if you don't know, and I will go off topic a bit here, but if you don't know, when and this is from my own research, when I think it was oh, I can't remember. It was one of the first because it was actually MS DOS, which actually wasn't owned by Microsoft at first. It was actually owned. I can't remember the other company, but it was owned by some other company. And Microsoft bought the rights to MS DOS and MS DOS. And basically, once they bought it, they just started designs as what we know today as we've got our desktop. They started to design like an operating system that had a desktop. I can't remember what it is. I think it was 97. Something's telling me it's 97 or 98, or it might be even less than that. Something's literally telling me that. But it's got like the desktop we know and love today, like from 7. And pretty much they were the first ones to do that. They innovated with this like desktop like we know and love from like 7, Vista, XP, CE, I don't know about 2000 and like 98 that we know and love. They innovated with that, and they took huge risks. And I think what they thought, I don't think it was to the case of with the consoles when like Sony thought for the PS3 they had ignorance. I can't even pronounce that. Which was the PS2 and PS1 sold stupid amounts, and the PS3 everyone's going to buy it anyway, even if we make it £1,000. I don't think it was down to that. I think it was down. Someone thought we should take this risk, and it didn't pay off. It just did not pay off. It was a good operating system. I gotta give it that, but it was just not user friendly. It had killer features to it that 7 didn't, like with the addition of the store, the Xbox app, the news like tiles, etc. that you could have. It had the good additions to it, but it just wasn't enough. The like clunkiness of the interface, if you don't worry, like know what that means, like how it was basically used, was just so clunky and like weird. It was unreal. And then they came into 10 when they were making Windows 10, and they was like, right, and like Xbox mainly said they've betrayed the trust of them. Pretty much, they didn't really think they didn't stay with Windows, like with games with Windows Live. That's gone now because they didn't like keep it up really. Like now they're doing Windows 10, and I'll get onto that in a minute, but. They didn't give some exclusive titles. Yeah, fair enough, the Xbox has got to have some exclusive titles, but they didn't share some of their franchises. Like, and now I'll get on to what I was saying about 10. Like with 10 now, they've actually said, right, so we're not gonna release every franchise for it, but they've said, right, Halo Wars 2 next year, that will come to Xbox One and Windows 10, but exclusive to Windows 10. And like, I'm trying to think of something else. Fable Legends, that will come to Windows 10 and Xbox One, exclusive with cross-buy, or cross-play, whatever you want to call it. And it's not cross-buy anyway, because it's free to play, what I've seen. I'm just trying to think of another one. Sea of Thieves, I think that's one of them. That will come to Xbox One, Windows 10. It's like, and this is what's hard to explain, the way operating systems are now, you need to have the exclusives. It's like a console, and this is what I was saying to Kill Crazy. It's like a console. It's like if you had the Xbox One and the PS4, right? Or I had my own console, and like as I'd say, Kill Crazy had his own, as I said to him. Let's say I make 2 or 3 games. He makes 2 or 3 games as well. They've all 3 of each got 10 out of 10s. Very unlikely, but let's just say that for the record here. Let's say both of our 3 games got 10 out of 10s. Right. We're competing consoles in a console war like Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo. Right. Now, let's say I'm desperate for money. I'm running low on funds for the console. I go, right, we're going to release our exclusives onto your platform, Kill Crazy. And he goes, okay. Now, let's say my platform, like the Xbox, is in most perspectives less powerful than the PlayStation, which let's say PlayStation's his. Right. Now, I've got the Xbox. I've just said, right, here's the 3 exclusives that are to our platform. What is there that is the want to buy that console now? There isn't. There's nothing to say that you're gonna miss if you don't go on to the other platform. If you go on to the other platform, unless like you get like exclusive DLCs first, you're not gonna miss much. That's what I'm trying to say. And this is what Microsoft's smartly done with Windows 10. They've said, right, we need to make the incentives. So they said, right, let's add Cortana. Let's say, okay, we'll bring some of our Xbox games over. So let's bring Halo Wars 2 on here, because the only Halos, really, that's been on Windows from, I think, about Halo 2, has really been Halo, not Halo Wars, Halo Spartan Assault and Halo Spartan Strike. That's it. There's not, as I know of anyway, there's not been any ones that's actually been on there. And like, saying that, like putting, let's say, right, we bring Halo Wars 2 over, like Gears of War 4. It's like, and this, I'm going to try and start wrapping this bit of sentence up, really. It's like saying, you can't, no one will buy your product if there isn't something that's unique. There isn't something that makes people want it, or if there isn't games that's unique. And pretty much that's what Microsoft's done. They've done it in a smart way, though, so they don't go, oh, okay, we're going to get every exclusive on the Xbox One to Windows 10, because if you don't know, the Xbox One isn't doing brilliantly in the console war, but there is speculation that if it doesn't actually do well this fall, pretty much this year, then it never will. That's it. But it's like they've done it smartly, so they don't leave all exclusives on both, because if they leave both exclusives, so they put all exclusives from the Xbox One on the Windows 10, what is there to buy that, other than it's got an operating system on it that's different? There isn't there? And yeah, fair enough, it's got a faster CPU compared to the PS4, hasn't got a faster GPU, sorry, and I think there's something else, it's got ESRAM, right, and it's got external hard drives, that's it. What's going to be so, I want that because it's got an exclusive on it. And that's what I was like, because first I had a PS4, if you don't know, and when I looked at the exclusives, and I think it was last year, and for this year, I looked at some of the exclusive days and they had announced for the Xbox One. I said to myself, right, these are a lot of games I liked, and I think it was Halo, Forza, there was a couple others, Sunset Overdrive was one, there's more than that, I'm forgetting what ones it was. There is more than that, but there had to be something that would make the purchase worthwhile, and this is what they had to do with Windows 10. So like something to make the upgrade worthwhile, and not make it like, oh, you've got a new operating system and you get updates. And I know that's slightly, in some perspectives, confusing, but it's the best way I can explain it. It's like you've got to. And I'm going to wrap this bit up here with this. You've got to give an incentive to buy the software. Else no one will buy it. Other than the people that just want the new updates. And as well, if we look at some of the other stuff about the operating system, it has been detailed that this is, it's about 99% that this is going to be the last proper major Windows. There isn't going to be no more major Windows after this. Now, what direction they go in is two different things. My personal speculation, they've already said that they're going to update the operating system with updates. My personal speculation on this, if it gets to a stage where they have to release another operating system, it's going to end in either two ways. One way is the Xbox team will bow out of the console wars, pretty much, and Microsoft's new operating system, if there is one after 10, will be an Xbox operating system. It'll be Xbox. My other speculation is, and this is probably not going to happen, but it could do, is, as you know, Steam really Steam and Xbox have they have, this is hard to explain, and Windows really as well. You see they advertise it a lot, like on the Windows 10 briefing where they actually showed Windows 10 for the first time. You actually saw they used Steam on it, and pretty much there's some hints, to put it like that pretty much they have a relationship with them in friends wise, and stuff like that. There's some sort there. So whether either that or they do get on with Origin, whether either Origin and Steam Steam has already got their OS, which I think is doing successful. Either Xbox will team with Steam and there'll be an Xbox Steam OS, or Xbox might team with Origin, and Origin will make their own competing OS for Steam OS. That would be probably not happen, to be honest, but that is my two speculations really of what could happen after this, and that's if they even do. They might not. They might just keep updating 10. But I do somehow doubt they'll just, like, forever keep updating Windows 10, because there's going to be a time where stuff starts getting outdated. And, like, you look at Windows 10, that's now got DirectX 12. What happens if, let's say, I don't know, 4 or 5 years from now, DirectX 13 comes out or something like that? What happens then? Is it going to be that they might be able to update it, which would solve the problem, but what if they can't? They can't put the API into Windows 10 with an update. If you see what I'm trying to say. Now, if we get back onto topic, on the compatibility side of things, again, it's brilliant, Windows 10. However, there is some problems with the laptop side, I found, which is, again, easily fixable. Now, I had a problem with my laptop that the touchpad it wouldn't pick up, and I obviously had a spare mouse, and I do have one for my PC, so I used that, and what I had to do is go into the, basically the devices, go on to my touchpad, right click it, and basically roll back the driver, restart, and the touchpad worked fine. And that should fix it pretty much. All of my hardware works on Windows 10 on both my laptop and PC. Also, nearly all of my software works on Windows 10 from my PC, but there was only there was one piece that doesn't work. However, software-wise, I've actually put hardware in there. That's why I paused a bit. And that is Corsair Link. I've also had a problem with Audacity, but I think that could be solved. But the main was Corsair Link, which I already knew before upgrading. Now on to the final thoughts, really. Should you upgrade? If you've got 7, 8.1, or 8, should you, if you're 8, obviously, should you upgrade to 8.1, then upgrade to 10? And obviously, if you're 7, should you just upgrade to 10? Yes, definitely. With the experience I've had with the operating system, it's a dream operating system. It's so easy to use, and it's obviously helpful to me, really, with doing videos and stuff like that, and it's just amazing, pretty much. Like with the Cortana, as I said, literally all you can do is just go, and I've got to make sure this doesn't actually pick this up, just go remind me Cortana, and it will actually and say what you want her to remind you, and then pretty much when the time comes, if you set the time or your place or person, you pretty much, it pops up saying the reminder, and then if you want to snooze the reminder or complete it, or if it's every week, dismiss it. It's just brilliant. It is to have that. Edge is also brilliant to use. I do still use Chrome for a lot of stuff, but I use Edge for stuff like when I'm doing collectible videos and the collectible stuff, and if I'm sometimes when I'm doing reviews or stuff like that, or even when I'm doing some talk videos, which there should be one coming up about Gamescom, may I add. It is, as I said, a dream operating system, and my hat is off to you, Microsoft. You've truly shown you've came out fighting after 8 and 8.1 and dominated. And if you're not an eligible user of 7, 8 and 8.1, so if you're like got a volume edition of one of those, or you've got Vista or lower than 7, to upgrade, I would still buy it. It's only £99 in the UK. To buy the actual operating system, and I would still get it in my opinion. And I've used Windows XP, I've used CE, Vista 7, 8 and 8.1 and now 10. As I said, I would still definitely get it. There is many reasons why I would say that, as I've said, but it's just I'm running out of things to say about it, I gotta be honest. But it's so like good to use, I gotta be honest. And like some of the features that are in the operating system is brilliant, and like I've found nearly everything as I said, my software works. I've had no device troubles. I've got like my Action Center on there. The only problem that I know is fixable was the Hamachi that me and Kill Crazy use, which I've actually got to set up. That's the only difference. I've got to set it up through the actual Windows software. That's pretty much it. It's literally so good to use, and it's compatible with all the games I've tried on it yet. And it's like, it speeds it up, and this is what I was actually saying. That's what I paused. This is what I was trying to say. Basically, like before, when I was on 7, it would take about 15 to 18 seconds for my PC to boot up. Obviously to the desktop now. For this one, I have to actually do it to the password screen, because this actually uses passwords to get in. And basically, what pretty much is, it takes about, it can take anywhere from 5 seconds at the quickest to about 13. And like turning off, usually it would take anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds, maybe longer. It now takes 5 and it's off. My PC is. And like before, I used to turn it off when I'm going to do something because I'd worry it'd overheat, which is probably me just being paranoid. But and like now, it's like, it's not so much of a problem to turn it off, really, because it's so quick to turn off and so quick to turn on. It was already quick, but it's now even quicker. And pretty much, I think it's one of the greatest Microsoft operating systems of all time, and possibly the last and the greatest one they've ever made. And they've truly let Windows go out with a bang. But on that note, guys, I'm going to have to end there. So, subscribe if you want to see more great content. Like if you liked, dislike if you disliked. Comment and let me know what you thought of the video, if there's any improvements. What if you want me to review anything else, or if there's anything else that you want me to review. If you'd like me to add any add-ons about this, any other pieces of software with Windows 10 that you want me to review. Obviously, I have got a few Xbox games. The Film and TV app, which replaces Windows Media Player, is very good. Before I forget to say that. And I'm just trying to think. You also get an Adobe Photoshop Express, which is, I think it's a free trial or something like that, or a lighter version of the actual proper one. Obviously my Bandicam works, as I've said. So yeah. So as I said, I'm gonna have to end there. Subscribe if you want to see more great content. Like if you like, dislike if you dislike. Comment and let me know what you thought of the video. If you want to say hi, any improvements, what you want me to review next. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.